games, and it never fails to deliver something quite special. There have been quick games, there have been close games, there have been enormous averages, and we'll talk more about that during the game. But the advantage for Michael van Gerwen today, being the #1 seed, is that he gets to play first today after a great win yesterday against Johnny Clayton in a whitewash victory.
Yeah, it was brutal from MVG. He averaged just shy of 110 in the end against Clayton, but it was a lot higher than that for a significant portion of the game. MVG, the best player in world darts right now. Steve Beaton, well, if you like watching darts, you like watching Steve Beaton. It's as simple as that. He is an absolute delight when he is playing well.
Not just a great dart player, but a fantastic advocate for the sport. Great ambassador. A lovely, lovely man. I hear he had dinner on the river last night. Classy to a T, Steve Beaton.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg is Steve to throw first. Game on.
Bump of the fists and away we go for the final day of action at the Austrian Darts Open. And Steve Beaton, the 1996 Lakeside
60.
World Champion, gets things underway with a 60. MVG straight in there, straight away.
140.
He did exactly the same last night. Kicked off the match with a maximum. We were having a bit of a joke, weren't we, Dan, before the game began, talking about how old Michael van Gerwen was when Steve Beaton was flying at the top of the game, just like that.
180.
Well, how about we take one each? Michael van Gerwen was 6 when Steve
58.
Beaton became world champion.
But if you go a little bit before that, when Michael van Gerwen was just 4 years old, Steve Beaton
145.
won the World Masters. And MVG may be about to start off with a 10-dart leg here, which is exactly what he did to Johnny Clayton.
36.
Double 18, double 9 for an 11.
18.
Well, not quite as dominant a start as when he took on Johnny Clayton, but he is looking odds-on for a break of throw in this opening leg with
Michael
Beaton
require
back on
18.
139.
Still double 9. Not to be. So Steve
10
has
scored.
a sniff. It's a
Steve
difficult sniff.
require 139.
Or is it? Or is it? Tops. Ooh,
119.
Great effort.
Michael require 8.
You better get rid of this, MVG.
Game shot of the first leg. Michael van
Right smile
Gerwen.
from the man in
Second leg
green.
is Michael to throw first. Game on.
Well, Steve Beaton nearly nicked that. He was nowhere near in that leg as MVG was looking at double 18 for a 10-darter.
60.
That's a lesson for Michael already. Don't mess around on your doubles. Otherwise, Steve is right behind you.
121.
Well, Van Gerwen has just been winning literally half the tournaments that he's entered in 2016. It's been just
93.
an assault on the PDC events. But there have been very,
99.
very rare instances when he has off days. He is human. The World Cup final was one of them. Missed a load of doubles against Adrian Lewis in the
60.
decider.
Sometimes we need proof that he is human, and it's comforting as a dart player who plays on the circuit with Michael to know that sometimes you can beat him. And
100.
robots don't play this sport, human beings do, and that's why we watch it, because sometimes we want to see mistakes amongst the perfection, of which that nearly was.
140.
Just going back to what we were talking about earlier, Dan, as well, the chasm between the ages of the two guys and what we talked about with
59.
Michael being
Michael
so young
require
when Steve was winning huge
148.
titles. Does that happen in any other sport?
Not many.
We saw Tom Watson a few years ago at the Open
100.
Championship being
Steve
over 60 and
require
having a chance.
122.
That's probably the only one I can think of.
Now Beaton. Oh, such a good first dart. He just needed a single 18 for a dart at the bullseye, and inexplicably
72.
misses the big
Michael
number. And Van
require
Gerwen,
48.
48 for a 2-0 lead. Missed a handful of doubles in the first leg. Doesn't
Game
miss
shot of the
any in the
second
second.
leg. Michael van Gerwen.
2-0 to
Third leg is Steve
MVG,
to
and
throw first.
already Steve
Game on.
Beaton is up against it.
Up against it indeed, and that was a huge miss. And you could see on Steve's face that he knows that chances in this game could be few and far between. And he has experience of playing Michael van Gerwen in the best of 11 format before. And he's found himself on a real toppling and being beaten within a matter of minutes.
Yeah. The head-to-head stats do not make good reading for Steve Beaton, but they don't make good reading for many dart players when you go up against Michael van Gerwen. He's won 3 times, but he hasn't won for a number of years. In fact, he's lost the last 7 times they've met.
Steve's an intelligent man, he will know that.
100.
But the way he's playing at the moment, as he always does, relaxed.
$139.
Just get the feeling he's got to lift his game even more. Play a bit more like he did against Vincent van der Voort, Michael's best friend.
95. Michael require 48.
Well, 16 for double 16 again for Michael van Gerwen for an 11-dart leg. Slide in alongside that.
Game
just like that. 3-0 double break and shake it ahead.
First. Game on.
Steve Beaton, and I think he knows that something miraculous has to happen here, because right now there is only one winner of this game, and it is that man in the green.
And Michael van Gerwen doesn't change anything about his equipment almost ever. But I've noticed a small change. New points in the darts of Michael van Gerwen. And generally when he does that, he's pretty useful. A little bit more than usual. Points don't last forever. You've got to pick your good times to change them, I think. He's got a busy time coming up, going around the world with the World Series. And he probably doesn't want to change them for the next 4 to 5 weeks.
100.
So he's done it for this week. It's a good ploy.
He's not going to be at home for the next month, Michael van Gerwen.
He's never at
135.
Premier League, World Series, Pro Tours. He plays in everything. He's not like Phil Taylor or Adrian Lewis. They selectively choose their tournaments.
60.
Van Gerwen, with his youth, wants to play everything right now and take advantage of what he's doing. Which is
shot on the 4th flag.
Back-to-back 12 darters.
5th flag is Steve to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, van Gerwen is obviously here. He then goes off to Auckland for the
82.
World Series. Then it's Shanghai, new venue on the World Series. Then he's given himself a week off. He's going to Thailand with his wife.
98.
They've gone to some very interesting places together since they got married a couple of years ago. I know they went to Langkawi as well, just down in Southeast Asia, beautiful part of the world.
99.
I think they went to Las Vegas as well to renew their vows a year on from
they may well have done
their wedding.
140.
The average creeps above 105 for MVG, and that first 9 average is just terrifying. 130.
100.
You don't generally see that kind of scoring power from many people in the world. Possibly only 3 players, I think. Van Gerwen, Chizzy and Gary Anderson.
57.
Just the 57.
57. And it looks like the end of the world for MVG.
As long as he stays straight here, Beaton. Yeah, great stuff. So a real opportunity now for Steve Beaton to get his first leg on the board. Should get at least 1 dart at double top.
44.
Oh.
Steve, you require 80.
Horror show. He's left himself a bogey number. All the time in the world for Beaton to just strut his way to 4-1. Yes, 15 darter for the bronze Adonis.
6 leg is Michael who threw
Had a shake of the
first.
head earlier in the match from Steve Beaton. We had a mini shake of the head from Michael there. His aim today, you could just see in his eyes, he didn't want to give Steve Beaton a leg.
134.
And I'll give you a really good example of that. I was at an exhibition recently with Michael van Gerwen in the Shetland Islands in northern Scotland. And I played really well, beat Van der Voort in the quarterfinals, beat Stephen Bunting in the semi-finals. I was buzzing. Went in to play Michael van Gerwen in the final. He beat me 8-1. And he did not want to give me a leg. And it's just, every single time he toes the hockey, and it's a frightening attitude, whether it's an exhibition, whether it's practice, or whether it's a European tour event like the one in Austria here. He doesn't want to give anybody a leg. It's a great attitude to have.
He likes beating people up, and he's trying to beat Steve Beaton up here. That's a 3rd maximum for MVG. And we could see another leg of darts in 12. Or potentially
121. Michael
treble
require
17
87.
here. MVG.
62.
Oh, he went for it.
He's not messing about. Exactly the opposite to some of the tactics that we've seen earlier this week of people leaving doubles.
134.
When other people
Michael
are
require
close to them.
25.
He wanted to get rid of this leg as soon as possible. He might just do that with double 8 here. Double 4 it is.
Shot on the sixth leg.
5-1
Michael
Van
Van
Gerwen.
Gerwen. Seven leg is
And
Steve
he's
to
4
throw
legs
first.
up
Game
in a
on.
flash of an eye. Van Gerwen has beaten Steve Beaton
60.
in possibly the quickest best of 11 game in history, where he averaged 121.86. That was in 2012 at the Championship League.
80.
We don't have the exact time, but it was something just over 6 minutes.
Yeah, pretty quick. This hasn't been slow by any stretch of the imagination either. Weird day that
82.
Championship League day, because Beaton then beat him later in the day 6-5.
Well, what goes around comes around sometimes.
But it is looking very much like an
134.
8th consecutive victory for Michael Van Gerwen against Steve Beaton. Beaton will have known he'd been up against it, but you know, there's up against it, and then there's getting an
133.
absolute walloping from the world number one, and it's very much been the latter today. And look at this. Look at this!
171.
Sensational switch to treble 19. And it's one of the reasons why we love watching these two guys playing each other. 'Cause it's swift,
140.
it's smooth,
Michael
and it's
Powell,
explosive at the same time.
116.
And this could be 6-1. Still need to treble 19. To be this time. A little wry laugh about it.
56. Steve require 86.
Oh, Beaton to get another leg. Bullseye he wants for 5-2. Oh,
61. Michael
to
require
be, and
60.
that might be curtains for the bronze Adonis. Double top for MVG. That
Game
is
shot on the
that.
match.
And Michael
Michael
Van
Van
Gerwen,
Gerwen.
the world number one, will continue his quest for a 4th European title of the year. He's averaged just over 101 there in the end to Beaton's 91. MVG will be in action in the first quarter-final of this evening. He'll take on either Kyle Anderson or Jelle Klaassen. Those two squaring off just next. The action continues here at the Austrian Darts Open. We'll grab a quick couple of words with
Steve
MVG.
Beaton, der bis hierhin ein wirklich tolles Turnier gespielt hat. And congratulations, Michael van Gerwen. Michael, another impressive performance. Who could beat you at all here in Vienna?
I think everyone can beat me, but I need to play really, really well.
Also ich denke, das haben alle verstanden. Da muss schon einer kommen, der sehr, sehr gut spielt. Maybe in the next round, in the quarters, then it's either Jelle Klaassen or Kyle Anderson, and they both are in brilliant form.
Yeah, they're good players. I think but they're also quick players. But what can I say? I will be the huge favorite against them, so I need to make sure I play well against anyone who I play, because everyone in this tournament can play good darts, and if you want to win this tournament, you need to beat anyone.
All right, wish you good luck and see you tonight.